still staying in America. 1930s again. 12. So the key is in the name. It's a 12-cylinder Packard.
The journey was going, or how long it was going to take us, but we are enormously proud to be here today presenting our event to you with this fabulous. This is a ground-up 90% rebuild 1967 Ford Mustang with a 5-litre V8 Coyote engine in it, and it bounces as well. 460 brake horsepower. This is the car made famous in Gone in 60 Seconds.
Citroën SM. I do love the Citroën SM. French avant-garde, can I say that? Styled by Robert Offon, the SM was a futuristic flagship. This is 1973. This is the 1970s at its best. With this hydro-pneumatic suspension, the car can go up and down at will. It's got headlights that turn, swiveling headlights. So when you turn the wheel, the headlights turn. I mean, makes sense, right? We think Mercedes are good now because they do it. It was being done by Citroën in 1973. And an engine? Well, it had the Maserati V6. You might say, why? Why does it have a Maserati heart? Well, Citroën had acquired Maserati in 1968, and so they decided to put the Maserati 6-cylinder car into this SM. This is a striking color, so 1970s, and it's just been through a huge 2-year restoration. Look at the interior when you have time. It's got a button for a brake. It is literally a button for a brake instead of a pedal. This is the 1970s at its best. Thank you very much for bringing the 1973 Citroën SM to us here. Supercar pinups of the 1980s and of the 1990s. 1981, who doesn't love an 80s car? 924 Carrera GT. This is, yes, a homologation special. Porsche had to satisfy Group 4 racing regulations, and so the Carrera GT had to be homologated as a road car. You can see the wider wheel arches, the lighter panels that they could use for racing, and a tuned, turbocharged engine. I mean, this is true 80s tuning at its best. This car was delivered here to the UK, and for a collector, it's everything you would want. It is completely original, and this is what we look for in these cars. Just 3,000 miles from new. Oh, are we not happy about something? This is complete with all the books, the spare keys, everything that you want. Documented history, a Porsche homologation special, which has never ever been abused and used exactly as it would have come out of the factory, down to the correct tires, I see. Well done. I love your 924 Carrera GT. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Lamborghini Countach 5000 QV. Of course, Matt is actually driving for him. Matt, you get to do all the dirty work around here. Of course, being from Fernandez, it is absolutely the right version to have. And I'm sure you can all hear, it definitely doesn't have a standard exhaust. Matt, can we have the doors open? Can we open the doors? Well, we know you like to show off. Doors open. Yeah, there we go. You're looking beautiful in there. Doors open. Doesn't look great with those scissor doors. That's a Marcello Gandini design. He was still a Bertone, and that's one of the most iconic car designs that ever came out of Bertone. You know, you've seen them before. To reverse these cars, you need to sit on the sill and stick your head out the door because you cannot see anything out of it. Thank you very much, Matt. The demonstration of how to reverse a Lamborghini Countach from a true expert. This car was supplied new to a billionaire, a businessman, who was Gerald Carroll, who was once worth the equivalent of £1 billion. And what did he buy himself? A Lamborghini Countach. And actually, interestingly, the third of the Countach that he had. I absolutely love a Countach. It is so outrageous. It looks so fast. Whether it really is fast or not, we'll have to decide, but they are so cool. Matt from Furlongers, thank you very much for bringing us the Countach 5000 QV. look at the rear end on that. E550, brought here by Tony Robinson.
Max, I cannot believe it. For the first time in 20 years.
We'll have to call Chris for this one, so I think it must be his favourite car. Wind in Your Hair, Class E. Following the Gullwing, the Roadster came out. And I have to say, people initially were a bit sceptical, but the Roadster had a much easier entry. If you remember the 300SL Gullwing with the Gullwing doors, it had to step in the car, it had more luggage space and a refined handling. Good day, gentlemen. Speedy from the Golden Age collection, expertly driven, a rare survivor. This one of the, or you can leave it on, you can cut it off, you can do whatever you like. I'll just chat for a few seconds. One of the 10 DB3s that were built, and one of only 8 that remain today. It's probably one of the rarer Aston Martins that we will see parade in front of us. It was designed from the ground up. This was a completely new design, specifically made for racing. This is the era of Jaguars and Astons racing, sports racers at Le Mans. It was a space frame chassis, so very advanced. The Dion rear end, not to get too technical, but really this paved the way to Aston Martin winning at Le Mans. Sold to Bob Dickinson, a privateer who was a very good privateer, might I add, who often was supported by the Aston Martin factory, and he had a very busy 1953 season where he did the British Grand Prix race at Silverstone, the Tourist Trophy and the Isle of Man. He was out a lot in this car, and even entered Le Mans in 53, but unfortunately never took the start. Ladies and gentlemen, you have in front of you the Aston Martin DB3. Scratch on it tells a part of the story. Well done, keep driving it and keep it in the family. Jason, well done. Che sei venuto con la macchina, ci rivediamo ancora la macchina. All the way quickly, Mr. Provosti. Another Ferrari, this time we could say the Testa Rossa. Did you get scared there? A bit too fast. It's among one of the most iconic Ferrari sports racers. Multiple winner of the Le Mans 24 Hours and Sports Car Championship. Testa Rossa. Well, that was actually a nickname. It's quite real nice to see you. Very well driven. Much engineering brilliance. Colourful stories. The pontoon fender Testa Rossa. Class K, Ferrari. One of Mr. Bagley's favourite cars of the event, I think. One of. Ferrari 275 GTB by Scaglietti. This car was right-hand drive, yes, delivered here by Maranello Concessionaires. Probably one of the most famous Ferrari dealers in history. 1965, he was the official UK importer at the time, and the first owner specified the car with 6 carburetors, so he was obviously looking for a sportier drive. Only 2 owners over the past 60 years, and still finished today in a striking Rosso Cina, which is a beautiful red. Who says red doesn't suit Ferraris? I mean, the 275 was a landmark car. The design of it, with a very long bonnet and a cam tail, I think it's a timeless design. Often I get asked about who is going to be the buyer of our old cars. Does the next generation like the younger generation? Do they like the old cars? Well, I can tell you that 9 times out of 10, if you show a young man an old car, when he sees a 275, he says, I want that. It is something about that design. Still that 12-cylinder engine, 5-speed gearbox. This is a car that I would have no problem getting into and driving down to London or further tonight. It is a true GT car, and what looks it has. Another iconic Ferrari. Thank you very much for bringing the 275 over to us. Jaguar E-Type. What a smile. A family treasure, I think we can call it, can't we?
All the way from Denmark, Mark Vogel with his 1933 Delage D8SS by Gurney Nutting. Delage in the 1920s and 30s when its golden age. A French manufacturer and was making cars to rival Bugatti and Hispano-Suiza and Rolls-Royce. So they were really at the very top of their game.
What looks like his wife driving up, filming, no pressure. 1956 Facel Vega FV2B. I told you about the little Triumph earlier on, where Italian styling meets the British mechanicals. Well, here we have French luxury. Nice to see yours. I'm glad that you could make it on Salon Prive. We have a French luxury meeting with American power. You see here, she pulled out all of the stops. Oh my God, driving herself. I never thought I would see this car in real life. The 1956 Ferrari 410 Super America, nicknamed Super Fast. I think just looking at it deserves a round of applause, absolutely. Look at the fins. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm looking at the car and it looks like it's moving. It looks like it's going, excuse the pun, super fast. Just looking at it. Wow! The 410 Super America, the only one built with this Pininfarina unique coachwork. It's like a futuristic car. Look at the fins coming out the back with a rounded tail, the flared-in headlamps. This is a Pininfarina masterpiece. Imagine when it was unveiled at the 1956 Paris Salon, when it was the fastest touring car of its time. I mean, it looks fast, it's called super fast, and it's the only one in the world. And it had a special engine, you see. They've been developing a racing Ferrari called the 410 Sports with a big, bad, fast engine. One of the most powerful racing Ferrari engines at the time. And what did they do? They put it into this GT car. Best of show in many, many concours where it's been. And now that I see it in real life, I can see why. The only Pininfarina bodied Ferrari 410 Super America, nicknamed Super Fast. I absolutely love it. That is just magnificent. Look at the taillights. You're in love, aren't you? Presented by none other than Dylan Miles. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a bit of history. There's definitely two people in the car, but I think there's only one seat. No! Do we have health and safety around here? The very first M car. Everyone knows BMW. Everyone knows the M symbol on a BMW. M3s, M2s, M5s. I mean, you name it. Well, this was the very first car built by BMW Motorsport GmbH in 1972. This is a true part of history. The prototype, the test and development car. But not only that, there's a nice little anecdote to go with it. You see, BMW homologated the aero kits, what we like to call the aero kit, the wing, called the Batmobile, the fins on the front, the deep front bumper. It was quite a wild aero kit and quite a wild livery to go with it. And they were testing and racing, and they were trying to homologate all of this extra add-ons to make the car go faster. Well, the homologation came in late at one night on July the 1st. Well, what did they do? They happened to be racing that weekend, so they immediately collected the car from the track, brought it back to the closest BMW dealer, fitted all of the aero kit, and the Batmobile was born. And driven by none other than Hans Stuck, his name is on the door, and scored wins at the Nürburgring and all over Germany. The very first M car from BMW. Dylan, thank you very much for bringing the M car, the Batmobile, over to us. they do tend to get a bit low. I mean, they have homologated it, but they didn't think about Salon Prive 50 years later trying to parade in front of all of us. From the collection of